All right, 13 episodes later, we are joined again by Breland Joseph. What's going on, Breland?
What's going on, guys?
We're back here with Weekly Take. We got a lot more stuff going on today. Since the last episode, Earl Thomas is now a Raven, and as well as Mark Ingram. What is going on in Baltimore? Is the AFC North competitive this year?
Yeah, I definitely think so. After the Browns come in, make all those splashes, the Steelers kind of take a step back, but that kind of makes it a little more even, I guess, after Brown leaves, Bell leaves. And I think Earl Thomas was a great signing. I was honestly surprised Suggs left early. If they were going to get Thomas, then maybe Suggs would have stayed. Or, you never know what happens after Thomas stays. That could have crumbled a little different.
Like you were saying, like it could have been a totally different thing. Like if he would have knew, like, oh, if Earl Thomas was coming, I could have maybe stayed an extra year, just test the waters.
Yeah, I definitely think
Oh,
Weddle was I didn't understand it at first, but now you're gonna get Earl Thomas. I see why you let go to Weddle.
when we cut Weddle, I was like, fuck, what is going on in Baltimore? Because, they got C.J. Mosley leaving. They got no running back, essentially. They have no receivers, and they're cutting people, and it's just the new era, I think, of Baltimore this year. And as much as I want to be upset at everything, they always have a better plan. And I'm sure it's like that for Seattle whenever you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, for sure.
And then all of a sudden you sign someone big. What has Seattle done this year?
I thought keeping KJ Wright was a big move. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the draft. I think they're going to move down for sure and acclimate some more, or get some more picks. Get some more picks.
In the NFC West side of things then. So I know we talked about this the other day about the 49ers and Arizona. Do you move up because as a 49er fan, they don't need a quarterback. And obviously they know Arizona's looking at Kyler Murray. Or is this all a ploy to get better draft picks, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just a market for Bosa, honestly. If somebody thinks he's actually the number one guy, then you go, try to get up there. I just think that makes the Cardinals have more leverage if other people want to come in and get Bosa. But if not, then I don't know. I guess you just have to know how far the Cardinals are willing to go down.
Yeah, because it's like in that case, like, the top five, who's going to take Kyler Murray? Because the 49ers already have a quarterback. Detroit has a quarterback. Who else is the other two? The other two that are up there in the mock draft.
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I'm not really entirely sure, like the first five. But I know they're not quarterback hungry.
Yeah.
Like Arizona all of a sudden is for some reason.
Yeah,
after they just picked Rosen, which I don't really get because in the Arizona side of things, you kind of have the team, but do you pass Nick Bosa as a generational pass rusher?
Yeah, he got hurt, so I guess my question would just be, obviously he's healthy. He sat out the rest of the season to get ready for the NFL, but, if you really think he's the one, that would be like a Khalil Mack situation. He comes in. It might not happen first year, but if he comes in, tears the league up, that would be a miss for the Cardinals. But I don't think a lot of teams want to take Murray top five just because it's him and he had that bad showing at the combine. He didn't do interviews very well, and they didn't say he did well on the board and shit. So I just think that was detrimental to him going somewhere else besides Arizona.
Yeah, because Arizona is really the place that obviously he probably wants to go with all that first place. Or when you're a first round pick, you get more money than I'm guessing the second and third rounders do. You're able to get more money in that situation, and at the end of the day, that's what it is. And I look at the NFC West and I say, even with Kyler Murray, if he were to have a career year, that's not enough to elevate to the top of the NFC West with Seattle and LA. And then 49ers, who knows what they're going to be this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you're in rebuild regardless of who you get. And that makes sense because they're the first pick. But you brought up Khalil Mack and looking at how the Raiders didn't pay the guy, but they're willing to pay Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a very smart move. Like, if you're talking all this, we already paid Derek Carr, we can't afford Khalil Mack, but then when Antonio Brown shows up on your radar, you're like, we could pay him.
Yeah, the endless pockets of money show up for Antonio Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he more marketable? Is that the thing? Like, oh, he was on the Madden cover. He's a personality. Is that what it is?
I just think Gruden's more of offense. Or obviously he wants to play defense, but I think pairing Carr and Brown, I think he thinks that's more advantageous, obviously, than Khalil Mack. Maybe he just thought his defense wasn't up to par and that Mack wasn't going to be, I really don't know, just because I think Mack he makes your team at least almost playoff worthy, just, with him. Or at least you're in the AFC West hunt with him on your team.
Yeah, because I look at Chicago now. Now they have HaHa Clinton-Dix in Chicago. No. Yeah. Because he left Washington, and Landon Collins went to Washington.
Yeah.
So I look at that, and Khalil Mack's already made that defense as it is, and then you add on playmakers like that. Chicago's doing it right. In Oakland, they're like, all right, well, we have Khalil Mack. He's already made our defense good. We don't need to address it. And then look where that brought him.
Yeah.
They didn't play their card right, I don't think. And I think they're like,
But
it's his fault.
I guess maybe he wanted to lose and get draft picks because he thought that was going to be the route.
Maybe.
Maybe he has a plan. I'm not seeing where. I guess after the draft, you'll see a little bit more, how it's all going to pan out. They got, 3 first-round picks, and they got Antonio Brown. So, they're moving in the right direction, I guess, since the offseason started. But they got rid of Donald Penn.
$100 million. He better have somewhat of a plan.
Yeah.
I've never been a John Gruden guy anyway, but to hear that. But a fellow teammate of his, Le'Veon, is now in New York. And what do you think about Le'Veon? Because during the episode last time I was talking, he went to the Jets, so I didn't really get to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the Jets have a good chance of being good next year.
Yeah.
Not AFC champions, but contenders maybe.
Playing in their division, you get the Dolphins and the Bills, so you got a good shot at 4 wins right off top.
In Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Miami,
yeah,
Buffalo, and then New England.
Yeah.
You
might get 2 losses in New England, but you could steal 4 in your division.
And then I think the AFC East drew some weak division, and then I don't think they didn't draw the North, but they drew the East, I think. Oh, actually, the NFC East isn't a bad division.
Yeah.
But I look at that and I say Le'Veon Bell, he's a pretty talented back.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate to, gloat about Le'Veon Bell, he is arguably a top 5 back when he's healthy.
Yeah, top 3 maybe.
Top 3, yeah. You got my personal
Gurley took a step back in the playoffs just because you could tell he's not.
I would put Gurley at 1, but after seeing that, I have Zeke at 1 just because I like how he's just into the tackle. Yeah. And then I would go Gurley and then probably Le'Veon. But I would put David Johnson up there, but he hasn't showed up in a while.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara's making his move.
Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt when he was healthy.
Yeah, he's going to get a shot with the Browns.
With the Browns, though, they have the pieces to let everyone down, and I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think with the Le'Veon Bell situation, I think that was a good move for them. Mm-hmm. I think it was everybody kind of knew it was the Jets. I think that could have happened. It was pretty prolonged out for ending up at the Jets, but
it did not need to be that long.
Yeah, I guess the Steelers could have tried to get something out of it, but once somebody doesn't want to be somewhere, you just lose too much trade value, and then that's Brown and Bell, just kind of shook out on the wrong end for the Steelers was all.
And the Steelers still got Juju Smith and James Conner and Big Ben. It's not like they're really hurting, obviously.
I think the Big Ben thing where the owner came out and said that he's the only man and everybody else is a boy in the room, or however that shook out, I think that was bad for the locker room. Yeah. But I think that they're the Steelers, so I think they'll figure it out. But
yeah, they're a blue collar team they have history, and the AFC North is going to be fucking competitive this year. Especially if Baltimore plays up to par with these players. And then Cincinnati, I think they're like, all right, well, we're the 4th string this year because they're usually the contenders.
Tank for Lawrence.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's not worth it this year. But who knows? They could come out of nowhere and they still have A.J. Green, Andy Dalton, and Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah.
So they still have a good big 3.
Yeah.
But, I'm not really too...
I don't see them playing in the picture once it all shakes out.
Yeah, they started off good last year, but they usually start off good every year, and then they just choke. Yeah. But AFC free agent wise, we got C.J. Anderson being upset that he's not getting bidded on. Are you with C.J. Anderson? Or are you like?
No, I'm not with him.
You're not with him?
I think the running back position just doesn't get paid money, so and nobody's really gonna buy stock in the fact that you showed up at the end of the season. Of course you're a downhill runner, you're kind of thick, like they see stock value in that, but you didn't play a full season, so of course your legs are fresh. You're fresher and healthier than everyone else if you didn't play all year and then come in. Of course you're kind of running over the. That's not to say that's why he did it. I'm sure he's a good back, but running backs just don't get paid. He's older. I just don't see it. The draft is where you find running backs. I think teams look.
Yeah, because then you keep them cheap. You run them for 4 years, then you don't have to pay them that much unless they're Ezekiel Elliott, or top tier backs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I looked at it too. It's just like you said. It's like the guys that open gym who show up after 4 games after everyone's tired and they're like, "Oh, we're ready," and then they tear it up. It's like, well, everyone's been playing for 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not that good. So that's exactly what I thought too. Is just C.J. Anderson. I feel like nobody's really hurting a bit on C.J. Anderson, and a third down back is hard enough, even if you're a good veteran back like Frank Gore. He's a well-proven player, one of the leading rushers in the NFL history, and he found it hard to find a team when he left 49ers.
Yeah, and that's not a bad position to be either.
Yeah.
If somebody's willing to pick you up later in the season and you're still going to get some money, I mean, I don't see that as a bad role. It's just, is that the role that I guess he doesn't want that role. He wants to be on the team,
It's
committed.
hard to be a starting running back.
Yeah.
In the league, as well as anyone, fucking, all these backs that have come in and out of Seattle.
Yeah.
You're like, we just want that one, but it's hard to find that one after Marshawn left.
And with some coaches, they don't just want to find one guy. They want to rotate in, and, that's just, since you're cheap, they're able to use, keep somebody fresh. I think sometimes that gets redundant for, like, you're too pass heavy or run heavy with one of the guys that just kind of kills you're too obvious. I don't know.
Like with Alvin Kamara, are you saying?
No, just with just running back. Like some teams where you're like, you got one running back that you run with, and then one running back that's in the pass game, and it kind of like you're just tipping off to the defense the whole time that, hey, we're gonna pass or we're gonna run, instead of having one guy or two guys that do both.
Yeah, because like you said, you're like, oh well, they got C.J. Anderson in, they're gonna run up the middle.
Yeah. When
you got Todd Gurley in, it's a little bit different because they're like, this guy could catch or he could run it up the middle. He could do anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another
I guess
thing.
that's what those are the guys that get paid.
Yeah, they're like, all right, well, we don't want to pay C.J. Anderson a whole bunch of money. Maybe if you won a Super Bowl, it'd help him a little bit. But, he was also on the Andrew Whitworth offensive line that's in L.A. right now, and that's a pretty good offensive line.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, well, we don't have that great of offensive line, and you're older.
Gurley was going to win MVP behind them.
Yeah, so let's not get a little ahead of ourselves there, C.J. Anderson. But speaking of that, too, with free agents, we got Justin Houston, 2 years, $24 million contract to Indianapolis. You actually called the right division where he was going, but not necessarily the right team.
Yeah, I said Houston. But I was kind of looking for a contender just because I was like, he wants to win because he was just on the Chiefs. So you get that little bit of taste. You're that close. You don't want to go set back and go play in the bottom barrel somewhere for money, I guess. I guess somebody could. It just depends on the kind of guy you are. And it's nice to see that that's what he went to go do.
I think that's going to be a good signing for him signing for that team. They got Darius Leonard. That defense looked great last year. I don't know if Justin Houston was the answer, but he could. I think Justin Houston was signed to make a couple big plays in their playoff run.
Yeah, I think that's a good veteran, knows how to win, been there. He wants to work hard. Your $12 million is not going to kill you in the defensive, or, what they're playing 3-4. He's the outside linebacker, so it's not going to kill you to pay him $12 million when that market value could be somewhere, north of 17. If he's productive and if he gets 10 sacks, you got more than your money's worth,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they're like, he has a high ceiling but a low basement,
Yeah.
Like you just said, like it could work out really badly, but it also could be like, oh shit, if he gets 10 sacks, we're looking like geniuses because we signed him for 2 years. And they're playing Deshaun Watson. I'm thinking quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, Andrew Luck, and Nick Foles this year. Right? Yeah. That's the right division.
Yeah.
And Justin Houston can get to every one of those guys.
Yeah.
Easy. So
I mean, it wasn't that only 3 years ago he had 20 sacks. I mean, he's obviously aging, but he's not
going anywhere. Suggs is 37, and he still got sacks last year.
Yeah.
Speaking of Suggs, he'll do all right in Arizona, but He should have stayed a
The
Raven.
Ravens fan just got sad he lost his boy.
Oh, man, I'm sad that we lost Suggs, but
Flacco and Suggs, that's kind of what... That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt for Ravens fandom, just because those are beloved.
Flacco, Suggs, Mosley.
I thought. Speaking of with the Le'Veon Bell thing, I thought that was a good move for the Jets getting Mosley, but I thought the Ravens did the right thing, not overpaying that spot.
Yeah, because I hate to bring up Baltimore all the time, but it's so easy,
yeah.
But they did even if I wasn't a Raven fan, like they made a pretty big splash this year. And
Len Perriman walked too.
Yeah, and then I look at it like we've created good linebackers regardless. We've bred Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs. You can even say Zachary Orr when he was good. You have Patrick Onosaur on the line now, and C.J. Mosley.
Yeah.
And that's just 5 right there.
So they feel like they could get a linebacker that they like to breed him into that position for cheaper.
I think they just value that position really well. Yeah. And especially, hey, C.J. Mosley's Roll Tide. What's stopping him from getting another Roll Tide big Bama backer? So I don't think there'd be.
Plus on the Ravens, Perriman went to the Browns, and then Odell showed up, and then he bounced out.
Yeah, you telling me that
to the Bucks.
He's like, I don't want to be number 2.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Have you proved anything to be number 1? Like you had a couple deep threats last year.
Yeah.
In Baltimore, you dropped open passes. I mean, he has the tangibles to be a great receiver, but he doesn't. He doesn't.
He just doesn't show up when the lights are bright.
Shine bright.
Yeah.
That's what we like to say.
I guess Flacco got paid too, so they won a Super Bowl. They knew they were taking a step back after the Super Bowl because of all that money that got spent.
That was. I look at that now. I'm just like, why did we?
Yeah.
I'm like, he deserves some of it, but like that much guaranteed is what I think fucked us.
Just like as a Hawks fan, I'm up on the ropes with paying Russell Wilson again.
Yeah, give me your take on Russell Wilson because I know a lot of Seahawks fans are going to be.
If there was to be a deal to be made, I'd like to look at it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. I mean, I don't want to be one of those teams without a quarterback. Yeah. That's like the worst thing in football. But at the same time, can we pay Russell Wilson and keep making it work? We obviously haven't done it. Yeah. We haven't made it work with him being the highest paid guy on our, one of the highest paid guys on our team. So what's to say that we won with a young quarterback? That seems like teams that are making to the, one of the teams that make the Super Bowl besides Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Got a young quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is trying to make a run.
Jared Goff.
Those the two guys right on the fringe were two guys getting paid not top dollar quarterback money, so you can build a better team around them.
Yeah, because I look at that. Was Matt Ryan paid when he went that year? Or was he on the fringe of his contract?
I'm not sure if he just got paid or not.
Because then there's Dak and Zeke who haven't been paid. And they're, they have one more year. Their window's closing.
Yeah.
Green Bay pays Aaron Rodgers, and then look at them now.
Yeah.
They never really addressed their defensive side anyway in Green Bay. But it's dangerous to see, wow,
once you pay a quarterback.
Right now, to bring it back to Baltimore, he's young. They have to go now. So they're like, all right, we're going to get Mark Ingram for you. We're going to get Earl Thomas. You got to get receivers too. So Deshaun Watson, their window's closing because DeAndre Hopkins is going to want money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams other than Tom Brady who are be like, oh, yeah, I'm fine with.
Plus Mahomes is going to set the market when he gets paid.
That's what Wilson's waiting for, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dude, Wilson.
Yeah, I heard that on 710. I was listening in the morning, and he's like, Wilson's not going to go early. I think it was John Clayton.
Are you kidding me? Because Mahomes is going to get paid $230.
Yeah, quarterbacks are going to be making like $50 million soon.
No, he's going to, and the salary cap's going up.
Yep. Dude, it's what's like 8% almost every year. So then whatever it was this last year, it'll go up 8%. So that's somewhere like close to like 12 million a year. I think it's like 100. What's the salary cap? Like 880 million.
Yeah.
Or something.
I think it should just be like. I think it should be like baseball. I think
just pay him.
I think it would be crazy to see that. But
yeah.
It would ruin it a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know. Baseball there's so many guys. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. There's more dudes. So I don't know. I guess it would hurt. Like minor league players don't get paid anything in baseball, which is completely different. Completely off topic. Like they get a lot less money. So it's like, but football doesn't have a farm system kind of situation. So. if you let them do that, I guess if their money was there,
Yeah.
that might change the running back situation, where they're not getting paid or some positions aren't getting paid. There's always going to be influx of who gets more because they're more important to the team. That's always going to be there, but I don't know. Maybe we're getting a little off topic.
Who gets paid? So in the sense of minor leagues, though, who gets So say you were on the Aqua Sox,
Yeah.
and you were to go to the Mariners. Do they have to pay you right away, or since they're like, oh, you're on our farm team, we don't?
No,
pay
you
you
probably signed the contract. I think you get a little more money if they brought you up, but not like if you already signed a contract to play minor league. Then I'm not exactly sure if you went because you never go from like A to that.
Yeah.
You gotta like in that it doesn't work like that. Really.
I'm pretty sure most of the guys too.
But
really
minor league
complain.
players, I was just reading articles on The Athletic or something where some of the guys they always have to they quit and get a job because they're making pretty much nothing to play baseball, especially if they don't think of them as a player that is going to be in their organization and move forward. Sometimes it's just like they're just filling in positions so they have a team, and it's like I don't know. It's kind of that's like a whole.
It's a whole bag.
Yeah,
of worms.
that's something if you dive in, it's.
Well, actually, let's open this bag of worm. All right, I just took a piss, so that was a little stutter there for everyone who's listening to the Weekly Take episode 24 podcast here. So Breland, to wrap up NFL, we got a couple more things to talk about. Julio Jones is going to be one of the highest paid receivers in the game. Do you pay a guy like Julio Jones after seeing Odell get paid? Antonio Brown get paid. Even Doug Baldwin got paid.
Yeah. I don't even have to hear
Julio.
I think Julio Jones and I think DeAndre Hopkins are my two guys. Like I'd say they're top two they're in the top three no matter what. I mean, you could throw Odell in there. I just think his is just more glam than I think those guys are big athletes that they take over games when they. But I guess Julio does have health issues on and off, but that's the market, Antonio Brown got paid, so why can't Julio get paid? He's just as good.
He brought them.
Amari Cooper's going to want to get paid from Dallas when he gets, after he had a good year. I think now he's looking at some money, but I think wide receiver, that's what the market says. So I think the Falcons are just trying to get ahead of it before it gets out of hand. If you wait longer, the price only goes up for top tier players.
Especially, with the DeAndre Hopkins thing coming up.
Yeah.
Julio will be like, hey, he's never been to a Super Bowl like I have. I brought us there.
Yeah, exactly.
I had 2 touchdowns against New England in the regular season. I ripped it out of his hands.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay him?
Exactly.
I'm out. And
Yeah.
then we're in a whole Oakland-Pittsburgh situation.
Yeah, you don't want that situation with Julio, really.
No. And he's a more quiet guy, too. He's not like AB, and he's not like
Odell, yeah.
Which it's just one of those things where it's just I would pay the guy just without a doubt.
Exactly.
But speaking free agents again, we got Ezekiel Ansah contract. This is a situation where they did wait. You got Ezekiel Ansah, who was like, all right, I'm going to wait to see what Justin Houston gets.
Yeah,
and Justin
exactly.
Houston got a pretty contract.
Yeah, I thought at 30 years old, $224 was not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Considering what the market was like $18.5 million. And now you're looking at Ansah somewhere in the middle of there. I think, maybe 13, 14. I don't know. Maybe he's a 12 guy. If he waited, was he better than Houston? Not really. He's younger, only by a year, which honestly I was surprised by. I thought he was a little bit younger. Yeah, I thought he was younger than Houston by more than a year. But I think he's going to command somewhere around the 12, 12 to 14. If not, maybe he's less. I'm assuming.
Where do you want to see him go?
Obviously a contender. You want to see everybody, go play for a winner. But I don't know. Who really needs a guy that obviously the market's quieting down a little bit. It's been a couple of days since there's been big NFL. So I don't know. I'd just say contender myself.
Yeah, I think a contender would be really cool. Obviously, to see him in anywhere in the AFC would be cool because he's in the NFC. If he goes to watch him go to Kansas City, they just lost Justin Houston.
Yeah, if they got him on a deal for less, that might be.
That could happen.
Yeah.
So the only thing that's really going on in the NFL right now is free agency, and we got another guy scraping the barrel to be relevant in the NFL again. We got Des Bryant saying, "I'll be a steal anywhere I go in the free agency."
Only because he's not going to get that much.
Yeah, because they're not going to pay that. They'll pay him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to come play a couple snaps.
Exactly.
The thing is with Des Bryant, in his prime with Romo, he was the X. He was the factor. He was good.
Yeah, he was great.
But you look at him when he was in like the last years of he wasn't faster than nobody.
He wasn't creating any separation.
Yeah, he wasn't creating no separation. He's not a good route runner. Like he didn't have his one-dimensional thing anymore because he was the big.
He knows how to high point the ball.
Yeah, he would high point the ball on people, and as soon as he lost that jump, he wasn't as valuable because he's not a good route runner. I mean, obviously he's a good route runner, but he's not.
Yeah, they were definitely questioning his work ethic and just the whole commitment to the team situation. Wide receiver diva kind of thing.
Yep.
But I think that just hurt him in the long run. Once you get too old and you're not playing you're not playing for how much you're talking.
Yeah.
People just don't want that in their locker room.
Yeah, because then everyone's like, "Oh, this is toxic." They're like, "I'm not trying to be a part of this guy." Like with AB, Facebook living their locker room.
Yeah, just like look at the Seahawks. They got rid of Sherman and Bennett after he talked. The Steelers are willing to let Bell and Brown go because they want to keep their locker room right,
Do you think it's because Mike Tomlin and Pete Carroll are player-type coaches?
Well,
they're looking like, all right, you can do what you want as long as
might be Yeah, I guess the coach he just wants to make sure that he knows who's in charge and that we're not going to take, we're going to let everybody gallivant around like you're going to do whatever you want. We're still trying to keep the organization pristine and, we're a top-level organization. We're not, we just don't want all that foolery shit going on in
a
our
place
organization.
like Pittsburgh. That don't fly, especially Dallas. That wouldn't.
The Facebook Live thing was funny though.
It was funny because as an AFC North fan, I laugh at when they crumble, But for the sake of this podcast, it's interesting to see how a fan's team can just go downhill from something like that because it was all downhill from that. Then Big Ben's like, oh, he don't know how to win.
Yeah. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders anymore.
No, they're contenders in the division. That's about it.
Yeah.
But Des Bryant wanted to go to the Browns. And last year on Hard Knocks, he went in there and he looked like he was going to get signed. And they didn't want him. And if the Cleveland Browns didn't want him last year after they were rebuilding their team, I don't know who would want him now because now they just got Odell. That's a big signing for the Browns.
The XFL.
That is a huge,
XFL
is
the
always
X Factor.
They're always, or the double AFL or whatever.
Yeah,
AAFL.
AAF. That's like more minor league kind of. It's supposed to be like a minor league thing for the NFL, to my knowledge.
Which is cool.
Yeah, which is nice. But I guess that wouldn't be what he'd want to do. But hey, maybe the XFL, he could be that guy.
Maybe he could be. Trent Richardson plays for the Ironbacks.
Yeah.
So
he's trying to get in the NFL.
He swallowed his pride.
Yeah.
He's not Des Bryant though. But
Yeah. He's definitely not Des Bryant worthy, but
Trent Richardson was a Heisman, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Or he was definitely a finalist.
Yeah, he was definitely a good player.
Yeah.
But to wrap up, for the wrap up of the stories, we have a free agency tracker here. And we got Clay Matthews to the Rams. Did the Green Bay Packers make a good decision in letting this guy go? Or was this like, hey man, you should have just signed him for a year, let him retire a Packer?
I wouldn't have minded seeing him stay with the Packers and just ride it out, but I think he wants to win another Super Bowl or come out west. He played at
USC.
He did.
Or Cal. No, he played with Pete.
Yeah, right.
I think he was USC.
I think I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that, but
me either.
His brother played at Oregon. I'm pretty sure that one, Casey Matthews. But he either he wanted to come out west or he wants to win. It's one of the two. That's the only thing I can think of. And at 2 years, 9.25, obviously they're not paying him as top tier pass rusher, more of like a veteran leadership role. Come in, get 5 sacks. Well, that'll be complimentary to what we're trying to do, and it'll be at a good price.
Yeah, he didn't really get that much anyway, as a thing, because I look at Clay Matthews and he's one of those guys who just really was there as Green Bay.
Yeah, he's definitely when you think of him, you definitely think Green Bay. So it would have been probably better optics to say if he stayed, and that would have happened. But I don't think it's gonna tarnish his legacy in Green Bay of any sort.
If they really wanted him,
Yeah.
If that was Aaron Rodgers, they'd have
Yeah.
paid him. So
Like he definitely has a bigger legacy than Julius Peppers. You know, he just came there for a couple years and played. Like Clay Matthews won the Super Bowl, played there. You know,
Julius Peppers jumped everywhere.
Yeah,
He was in Carolina, Chicago for 5 years, and then he's like, I'm going to go to Green Bay.
Yeah.
The rival, which was insane.
Didn't he just finish out and
He finished out and
went back to
he
Carolina?
went back to Carolina for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. I like it when players do that.
He's so big.
I don't
He's
like
Clay,
it.
him and Calais Campbell are like the biggest guys on playing football, bro.
That defensive line in Carolina is scary. They had Short, Julius Peppers, and everyone. You know, it was insane. I look at, the free agent tracking now. You got Spencer Ware, Morris Claiborne, Eric Berry, Jordy Nelson, Jay Ajayi, Jamie Collins. All these guys are still available. That's just the first 5,
Yeah. Eric Berry's like the one that sticks out to me the most.
Same.
Like Dallas, are they going to scoop him, or who's like the safety market's been kind of a frenzy to say for in the free agency. And if Earl could get 4 years, 55, Eric Berry's got a little bit more health concern, just like not bones and shit with his like.
Yeah.
What do you have? Leukemia, right? Or
Yeah, he
some,
had cancer.
something like that. Yeah, he had something like that.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, to come back and be an NFL player is just a blessing in its own right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if somebody's willing to pay 4 years, 55. I don't know if he's Earl Thomas.
No.
He kind of had a down year last year while he was in the game, and I'd say a 2-year deal wouldn't be a bad gig for him on a winner or something. You know?
Yeah, Dallas. Their window's closing.
Yeah.
They need a Eric Berry over there. They needed Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
And that whole can of worms of, I need to do this and that. But we got Muhammad Wilkerson. We obviously talked about Ezekiel Ansah.
Yeah.
And we got...
Ajayi would be a sneaky pickup for
Yep.
somebody if it was at the right price.
Do you think he's a starting running back?
Yeah, I think he could be. I just think it's all two. There's going to be 2 running backs no matter what. I think he could be the feature back. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If
I
he
guess.
went to Atlanta, even to be like how they had with Tevin Coleman, because Tevin Coleman's in
Yeah,
San
I think he's a
Fran
good
now.
replacement at the right price.
That would be
But
cool.
I just feel like he just doesn't want to be the replacement anymore,
No.
or the bring him in to help out the other homie. It's like he's just like, I want to be that guy.
They're like,
him and Mark Ingram have been really trying to die for that role.
the coach pats him on the back. Yeah, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
We'll put you in a couple more plays.
Exactly.
But yeah, they're not. Nobody's saying, I want Jay Ajayi.
Yeah.
Like when Le'Veon Bell
They're
came
not
out.
knocking on people's doors.
No,
trying to
they're like,
get in.
yeah, if the price is right, we'll
Yeah.
take him from you.
I guess I don't watch the Jets enough to know if Muhammad Wilkerson's still that top tier inside.
He was.
pass rusher. Yeah.
He had a good
But-
Madden card a while ago.
Yeah, but I mean that would be a good pickup for like
A restructuring.
what did the Rams get? Who they got replacing Sue with? What if they could fill that gap with?
Yeah.
like a veteran. Like I don't know if he's gonna command. I don't know what that money commands. I guess I'm just not completely into. But that would be a sneaky pickup for a team that's trying to contend.
DNs are a big fucking position. A lot of people like to sleep on just the defensive line.
Jordy
alone.
Nelson was hurt, so he's, I think, on another free agent. He's gonna get decent money, but where's he gonna go? Contender, obviously not. Does he want to go
Jordy?
play for nothing?
What do you mean? Jordy's going back to Green Bay.
He did.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, that's what you want.
I think he should go back to Green Bay. I don't think they'll sign him.
Yeah.
They cut him for a reason.
Yeah.
He's
Maybe he just doesn't got it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jamie Collins.
Jamie Collins.
I was also listening to 710. And they were saying he doesn't like to listen to the plays, and he just likes to go out and do his thing because he is special. But that's if you're not going to listen to the plays and run, what we're trying to do on defense. I guess it's hard to pay somebody big top dollar when they're not even in tune with the coach.
Which just shocks me because he played for New England.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I guess that's why they let him walk.
Yeah, they're like, hey, if you're not gonna listen,
Did they trade him to the Browns?
They traded him to the Browns. I think for like a peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay,
So they're like,
maybe
let's just
they're
get
like,
this off our
this
hands.
guy don't listen. We don't.
And
fucking
just like in Ndamukong Suh, everybody thinks he's not gonna play hard all year until the playoffs, just like he did this year or this past year. So he's not gonna command top dollar either.
How did the Rams not win the Super Bowl?
Oh, that was sad. In Vegas watching it.
I just don't get it, man. You have this super team you built with all this money, and you couldn't.
I thought Peters took a step back kind of when they got him. I thought Gurley being a little hurt, that hurt a little bit.
Goff didn't play great.
Yeah, Goff didn't show up hardly. They just didn't pass the ball at all.
they were like, oh, well, C.J. Anderson will lead us to the promised land.
That was never going to work.
Yeah, they really thought it was going to work, too. So the MLB started. The MLB has started. You're up at 2 a.m. watching Ichiro, and then he retires. You're excited for the MLB season. What are your reactions from seeing the Mariners now? Like, are you excited for the season? Or are you like, fucking, it was going to happen?
Yeah.
He was going to retire eventually.
Yeah, he was already kind of retired. It was just nice that he got to go out in Japan. They got to send him farewell. And, he got a standing ovation the second game. That was nice. And, that was good for all Mariners fans. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. That's, we'd like to see that happen to Felix, but that's just not going to happen. That's one of the things to look out for early in the season is how he plays the first month, just because we got Justice Sheffield, Eric Swanson playing AAA. They're two of the guys that were looking to come up. And if he plays bad, he might get cut. Or if he plays well, we'll keep him. He could finish the season. Then he's going to be done at the end of this year. His contract's going to be up, so I think he's going to be gone. I don't see us keeping him. We're trying to get younger. And that's just that. There's lots of players on AAA that we got trying to look out for. Just like I said, Sheffield, Swanson, J.P. Crawford, Shedlong. Those guys are kind of coming up, and we have some stop gaps for them. Like Tim Beckham playing shortstop for J.P. Crawford. I kind of want to see how that plays out. I don't really think J.P. Crawford's the answer, but we'll see, I guess. And then, like, we got Domingo Santana coming in. I think he could be part of the future, but just kind of he's going to play left field. We'll see. We got him for Ben Gamble. I think that could be a pickup if he plays well. I just think it's going to be interesting to see how our veteran players play, so we can try to get some value out of our older guys like Jay Bruce, Encarnacion, Mike Leake. If they play well and we can trade them for anything, then we can get younger. But if not, then why are we even playing them?
So where is Felix as a person who doesn't really watch Mariner baseball?
Yeah.
Where is Felix now? Is he our third string, fourth string?
He's like our fifth best pitcher. Like,
wow.
He's honestly not even like, it's come to that point where it's hard to see him go out there and be he's not the king.
So what happened?
He lost command, or he didn't really have great command of his pitches. He has the fire to win, and he had good stuff when he was young. Like, he could throw 94 miles an hour, and he had a good changeup. So that was his go-to moves was fastball, and hit you with changeup. You're going down. Now he has to be more of a finesse pitcher to say, and that's just not what he wants to do.
It's not
and his work ethic isn't like obviously nothing to be excited over. He always shows up out of shape. He just hasn't done what the organization asked him to do, and as most Mariner fans that watch Avily, it's sad to see what he's done, but at the same time, it's to his own demise. It's like, bro, you didn't want to do what they asked you to do and work out and this and that, and now look here where we are. So a lot of people don't feel bad for him.
So he's done.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much done. So
if you're gonna call someone washed up, I guess that's
damn. He's a shell of himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is sad to see because as Seattle fans,
we wasted all his greatest years.
Yeah, as Seattle, we were excited it was Felix's pitching night or it's K night. It was legit. And now it's like, oh, Felix is pitching the night. Are we playing a bad team tonight or what? What's the deal with that?
And then, since we're not trying to win, really, I mean, they said we're going to take a step back. I think, don't spend money on the bullpen. They're not that great. There's just a bunch of veteran arms or like guys that can pitch in the bullpen, but we'll see how that shakes out. I think
our bullpen is the pitchers, right?
Yeah, that don't start.
Yeah,
you sub them in, and then I think with the starters, you want to see how Marco does early. He's the Marco Gonzalez. He's our number one pitcher starting out. I think he's going to have a good year probably. But other than that, I want to see how they handle Kikuchi and the Japanese guy we signed. If we don't pitch him 6 innings, or if we do, if we're winning, how does that work? They want to limit his innings, but do you want him to win games, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm just not sure how that's going to work. Or how many days rest, because in Japan when you play, you pitch once a week instead of every 5 days. Whoa. So the rotation's like a couple of days off, and that's how Japanese pitchers that came over from Japan have traditionally not fared well after first few years, just because the workload's more. So they said they're gonna have they're gonna go about it differently than just throwing him in there every 5 days. So I'm kind of interested to see that. Dan Vogelbach's that's my guy.
Who's this guy?
We traded Mike Montgomery for Vogelbach from the Cubs a couple years ago. Now he's been trying to make his way into first base for a couple years. Now he's finally gonna get his shot, and I'm kind of interested to see him. Me and Darian ran into him at in the airport.
What?
He just got brought down from the Mariners to AAA last year, and we're going to New Mexico this time of year, right when it's in late April, and Darian got a picture with him. We're like, good, have a cool season, rah, rah, rah. And so, I want to see him get actual playing time. He hasn't had any more than 8 straight games where he got to play. So I'm kind of interested to give him some time, let him get some at-bats. He's hit AAA well for multiple years, so he obviously doesn't need to be in the minor leagues. It's just, can you find a home for him on a team to get at-bats,
That's the thing with most baseball players. I feel like they're just trying to find a
right
home.
place, right time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unless you're that great at baseball,
So walk me through the Tony thing, because I know even as just a avid fan I call myself, I was upset when we didn't get a Tony, and he's on the Angels with Trout now. Is it his name, Tony?
Oh, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Walk me through what happened. They basically, he honey-dicked us, said he was going to come, and then didn't come.
I don't think there wasn't a formal commitment, but we thought we were definitely in the running just because we had, Ichiro. We kind of have a.
Oh, that's what it was.
We brought over multiple guys from Japan and had success with Ichiro, Kazuhiro Sasaki. I think we had a catcher too, and I think that was just.
Oh.
They thought we were kind of a shoo-in because that was our traditional marketplace where we go get guys.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Spurs with a European player.
Yeah, kind of same thing.
Okay, so we're like, we're gonna get him.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes me feel a little bit better. I was just hoping he'd say, I'm coming, and then he's like, the Angels paid me.
That would have been nice had we got him, though.
I mean, that would have been good. He's a hitter and a pitcher, right?
Yeah. I'm definitely interested. I want Mitch Haniger to take a big step forward this year.
He can't hit though in our league, can he?
Ohtani. Yeah. He hit DH for them since he's a pitcher. He just doesn't hit in the lineup. You can he can play the field too. So
okay.
He just plays as a hitter and a pitcher, not like
just a pitcher.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
That's what he should have went to the National League. That would have been a better situation where you still get to hit as a pitcher, but you only hit every 5th day, or you know what I mean? I don't know. I
he
guess
probably just wanted to play with Trout, to be honest.
But maybe I think he thought the American League, because if he's going to be a hitter, then he could hit DH and then still pitch. So he doesn't have to play in the field but still hit, and then less things have to practice all year long.
He's strictly offense.
Yeah. Or he's defense as a pitcher, but he.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is defense. But still, he doesn't even have to play in the outfield.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he does play outfield. Though.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He probably does.
Yeah.
Baseball is a crazy thing. I'm excited to go to a couple games this year.
Yeah,
for sure, because it's just one of those sports.
Yep, Darian's old enough to drink now.
I know I'm 21.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You too.
Yeah, Darian's 21.
No drunk drivers out there.
Yeah.
Dom.
I'm the designated driver.
Dom's Uber.
If you guys ever need a designated driver at the Mariner games, I'm there.
Yeah,
every time I don't drink, so hit me up.
He's looking for a sponsorship too. Any Mariners organization.
Any sponsorship for Weekly Take is welcome. And you could be anything.
Yeah.
We're all right. Is that all you got for us on MLB? Is there a couple other things you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I guess Mike Trout just got paid $430 million.
That is something I did see.
That was the biggest news in baseball. He's worth every penny, I think.
Pat was saying he's getting paid what? What were you saying, Pat? How much is he getting paid a hit?
No, how much?
Well, how much is he getting paid a hit?
Per hit or per game or? Per minute is $70 per minute.
Per minute.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just got a job landscaping prevailing 35 an hour. I thought I was killing the game.
He's out here making $70 a minute.
There's 60 minutes in an hour.
Yeah, so he's making what you make in an hour
in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Wow.
And this is let's not get twisted. I'm not a $35 an hour kind of guy. This is just a temporary job.
Don't sell yourself short, man.
Yeah.
No, so you are $35.
Yeah, I'd sure like to think so.
You're probably making close to that when you're out crapping.
Yeah, sometimes.
You're probably making,
Yeah.
you add everything up. You're
Yeah,
probably making
you have
money.
good. There's definitely good openers.
Yeah, so you're doing all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, $400 million. That's the biggest contract in sports. Unless I'm not counting soccer. I don't really keep
Yeah,
track
and MLB's guaranteed money too.
wait, so that's $400 million he's going to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
He's gonna get that. That's what baseball. That's why the Kyler Murray thing was kind of like.
Why didn't he just go to?
Yeah, but at the same time, with baseball, you're not going straight to the pros.
No.
Like you're going to AA, then AAA, then move up. If you struggle, you could not get paid, that massive amount. And when you get to MLB, you might not be that guy either. So
I feel like there's a lot more popularity in NFL right now too.
yeah,
Nobody's
being a quarterback. You could just have. You don't even got to go to the Super Bowl and you get paid.
Yeah. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, Sam
Yeah.
Bradford, these guys didn't even get paid in there. Or these guys didn't really prove anything. I think Kirk Cousins has one division title, if that. I don't even know if he has a division title.
He's just small, so the liability issues just,
Yeah.
Everybody thinks, oh, what if he gets hurt? Then, football's just a get hurt sport. That's,
Yeah.
you're getting paid to get hurt, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not
violence.
for long.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
But, so what was the last thing you had for MLB?
Oh, we were just talking about Trout, but
Yeah.
we could cycle into some NBA if that's
Yeah, because I mean, obviously.
So let's go Mariners though. We're 2-0. Let's
2-0.
28th. Everybody make it to the Red Sox game on 28th Thursday,
Yep.
opening day. They're gonna be giving out rings to the Red Sox.
That's
but
what rings.
for the Red Sox because they
we're
won
the first game of the year.
Yeah, for them. Yeah.
Oh, they're weak.
Oh, and it's Mariners Fan Fest this weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna go.
What do you get anything from?
You get to go out and play on the field and go in the dugouts and go through and there's some of the players are there signing. You get to. It's like kind of touring the field and the whole
Shout
shebang.
out to the Mariners organization.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
you'll sponsor.
And it's no longer Safeco Field, T-Mobile Park.
T-Mobile Park.
The tribe almost had a shot at. They were
Our tribe.
Yeah, they were.
Shut up.
Yeah, they could have been Tulalip Casino, whatever, but they didn't. There was I'm not sure how much. I think it was like $8 million a year, 80. I don't know what. I'm not even sure the numbers.
Insane.
I'd have to look it back up.
We would
But
have been making.
I seen it on Facebook.
I don't know. So how would we get paid? It's just
we
an
would
advertisement.
we would pay them and then get it back in advertising. That's how it works.
I mean, that would be a pretty big advertisement. Emma
Yeah.
Queen's already the pitching.
Yeah.
We need to have something there.
Yeah, that'd be
They
nice.
can't be the only one tribal guys there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, shout out, bro. Oh, shout out Darian in there watching North Carolina.
Oh yeah, Darian's out here. Darian would be here with us right now, but he's watching the UNC game right now. Hopefully, he's not in there getting too upset. But
kind of close, I heard.
He didn't look too happy when he came in here.
Yeah.
So let's cycle into the NBA. So let's start this off because this is what I have written down. I have the NBA awards coming up. It's not too early and it's not too late to be doing this because I think this is almost perfect timing, like you were saying.
Yeah. Closing down on the season, everybody's kind of getting ready for the playoffs.
We got MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Most Improved Player. We don't have Coach of the Year. We're just going to be talking players.
Yep.
And for MVP,
Giannis.
I have Giannis.
Yep.
And the reason is, and I have a slash with Harden next to it, but you take Giannis off that team, where would the Bucks be? That's my MVP talking.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would be. Yes, they have Middleton and they have Greg Lopez and they got a great core, but he is what makes them.
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of built around him, and he's that great, I think. And for me, I think it's the record. Like the Rockets are third. They got first last year, right?
Yep.
So Harden deserved the MVP. They got first in the West,
Yep.
which I'll admit the West is tougher than the East. I mean that to me, I think it's shaken out a little more even. Just I think the East is top heavy, of course, but
always kind of has been.
yeah, but I think being the number one seed out of the East, if you're the number one team and you're the best player and the season that he's having,
Yep.
I mean, I just don't see it being that. And James Harden got it last year, so normally to get it back to back, you got to one up yourself and the guy that you're running against, and I haven't seen. Honestly, I just haven't. He had that great run where he's, scoring 30 a night for how long? That could the voters might take that more into consideration than what Giannis has done. But I just think 53-19 and 45-27 is different because Giannis isn't saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for Chris Paul. I got to do this. I got to." He's just like, every night I'm going out and doing my job.
Yep.
Like,
he's a small forward too,
and
he's not the shooting guard.
And his game didn't change when players go in and out of the lineup. He just plays his game hard. It's like, no, now when Paul was out, they need and Capella. I mean, there was definitely different situations. Yeah. There's a good argument for both. I'm not saying James Harden shouldn't. Doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying that I'm leaning on Giannis.
Do you want and think he's going to win it, or do you want him to win it and you think someone else is going to win it?
No, I think he's going to win it too.
Yeah, I think he's going to win it, and I kind of want him to win it too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I'd rather see.
I think it's good for the NBA. He's coming out with the shoe in the playoffs. I can't remember what they're called. Giannis Fear or something. Or I'm not even sure, but
does he have a shoe deal yet?
He's coming out in the playoffs. I just seen it on Bleacher Report today. Nike.
Yo, those are gonna be some cool shoes.
Yeah, so in the playoffs, he's gonna debut his shoe. And if he wins the MVP, I just think that's good for the NBA. That's good for money.
That's
good for
cool.
Everything. Yeah,
I want him to win now.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was like, I assumed he just didn't. I knew he was with Nike.
Zion should have been wearing those.
Zion should have been wearing. He was wearing what? Just
Paul George 2.5s.
Oh, my buddy actually has a pair of Paul George. You guys have Paul Georges.
Yeah, Darian rocks
them. But dude, here's the thing. Here's my hot take on that. The Zion thing, like, he's gonna break any shoe. Look at that guy with that amount of force and how much he weighs.
Yeah,
I don't blame Nike.
He needed to be in some LeBrons.
Yeah, he should have been in some stronger shoes. But moving into that, we got Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's Paul George, and I want to put Clay up there or Kawhi, but recently how Paul George has been able to protect the perimeter has been kind of the reason why I put him up there because
and their defensive team.
They are more. Oklahoma is more defensive though.
Yeah.
So who do you have for defense?
I put Gobert. I think he's kind of myself. I think he's got it. I think Draymond's he needs it because if he gets it, then he gets the super max. That's like in his thing. So he's obviously, putting it out on social media that he deserves it, rah, because it'll help him, money wise. But I think Gobert just, especially if, we're gonna go ahead.
We gotta take a break real quick. My nose is bleeding right now. All right, we're back. I got a paper towel in my nose now.
Yep, he's fighting for the cause.
Yeah, I just got a new shirt too. This brand new shirt.
Yeah, he goes, I'm not getting this dirty.
I'm not getting this new fucking Abercrombie. This was like $50.
Yeah, exactly.
I shouldn't have fucking spent that much.
He goes, I got excited.
I'm kind of upset that I spent $50 on this, but you know what? It was the end of the quarter. Treated myself.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. So we left off of Defensive Player of the Year. You say Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I'm kind of firm on that. He just changed. They're a playoff team. They're what? They're a 7 seed, but from 5 through 8, everybody's all tied up right there. I think him putting them in him and Donovan Mitchell kind of set the tone in the West. That for them, they don't really got per se stars. So him being able to get them in the playoffs, I think that's enough to get him there. And he's a force in. He's got lots of blocks all the time. He's always getting rebounds. He's changing the game.
I
think that's just
like that.
I hate to be like, oh, let's give it the same guy over and over, like because he's just good at defense. But he really is changes the.
Did he win last year too?
He was close.
Yeah,
if he didn't, yeah. He's always right there. So
it's hard not to put him.
Yeah.
And same with Kawhi. It's hard not to put him. Hard not to put Clay.
Yeah.
And I kind of even went with the cheese one with Paul George too, because he's always there too.
Yeah, just guys that are two-way players.
Yeah.
Or that are known to everyone else as two-way players.
Yeah. And because Kawhi honestly will probably never get that out of his.
Yeah. Chris Paul's kind of they say he's scrappy. He always getting steals.
Sixth man. It was hard not to pick Lou Williams for me.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick?
For some reason, I kind of see Lou Williams more as a starter just because he finishes games, this and that. And he always gets it. So
yeah,
I went with Spencer Dinwiddie myself.
Dinwiddie.
Which the Nets weren't really in the picture for the playoffs, I didn't think. D'Lo's my sneaky most improved, or he's my most improved. Just before we get there.
He's mine too.
Before we get there, he's in the running. I think that When we get there, we'll talk about it. But I think with them playing well and they're in the playoffs, and Dinwiddie just got paid, he's been, it's pleasant surprising for the Nets. Ever since they got him, they paid him, It's been smooth sailing with him, so I don't see why not. That'd be a good notch on his belt. I think Schroeder could be
Schroeder, he was a good runner-up.
Yeah,
for me.
I think they're a 5 seed right now, but 5 through 8's tied, so it's hard to say. Well, they're this seed. He helped them get there. This and that. It's not done yet, but he's definitely been a key cog for them.
Yeah,
moving forward.
Yeah, like after you say that, Lou Williams is kind of a sixth man. I mean, a starter.
Yeah.
Because he does finish some games, and I'm like, that's probably why he has like 5 more points, average more than everyone else.
Yeah.
So that's the sixth man thing. But so who do you got for rookie of the year? I have Trae Young.
I got Luka.
You had Luka
running away with it.
How come?
Just all the flavor and everything. He's just the talk of the town. When you think of who they talking about as rookies, it was both of them at the beginning.
Sexton is up there.
Yeah, but Luka was he had all these close games, and he's playing against good teams, and he's showing up, this and that. I think Trae Young he came out to a slow start, so it kind of gave him a little step backwards.
True.
And Doncic didn't. He kind of came out, and they're like, oh, he's great. And then it's kind of his stardom kept growing, and then
they expect more from him already.
Yeah. He's already kind of not a rookie compared to the other guys.
Because he's doing so damn great.
Yeah.
You look at that guy, and you're like, you wonder, how isn't Luka?
And now him and Porzingis, that's going to be dope to watch.
I think I picked Trae Young just because I was upset about
You're for the little guys.
I was for the little guy, and I was like, I got to go for Trae Young because he's a smaller guy, and I'm a smaller guy.
Exactly.
But
just like Steph Curry's so much personable to people because they're like, oh, I could be like him. He's small.
It's hard to be like, I'm going to be like LeBron.
I'm going to be like Kawhi. I got the biggest hands in the league in the world.
6'9" and going, jumping above the backboard.
Yeah, it's like, but I could be them. So
yeah, I could just
like I like James Harden. I'm left-handed, so that's like just off top. I found my guy.
I started doing left-handed layups because of Manu Ginobili.
Yeah.
And I'm right-handed.
Yeah, he goes, I still did it.
Yeah, I messed up my game a little bit, but, I mean, in the long run, it kind of helped it.
Yeah, exactly.
It gives me that diverse perspective. But most improved, we both said D'Angelo. And, by the way, me and Breland did not build these up together.
I want D'Lo to win it because he's left-handed, but I honestly think Siakam's going to get it.
Oh, he is most...
I actually wrote this down and said, D'Lo's averaging 20.7 points, 3.7 assists, and 6.9 assists. And then Siakam's averaging 16.6 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. So it's relatively close, but the Raptors got the 2 seed, and he's been kind of a key cog nightly in and out on defense and offense. And people just didn't see that. He could. That's what I'm saying.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. D'Lo's was supposed to be a star.
Yep.
I think D-Rose was in the running for a while.
Yeah.
Just because they were hyping him but the Wolves are 10th seed and they're 32-40, 17 and a half games out of first. They're 10 games out of the playoffs. So
let's talk about the standings then.
Yeah.
In the East, you got Milwaukee, who has the best record in the NBA.
Yep.
And then you look at the West, and obviously we're kicking a dead horse here, but the West is better than the East.
Yep.
But the East is top heavy, like it was last year.
And the Sixers, and I think there's. Oh, it's hard to look at the Celtics at 5 and say they're a contender, but they are.
They are.
And then I see the Raptors, the Bucks, and the Sixers. I think it's a 4-horse race out east or anybody that, if you think somebody could beat a team out west, I think it'd be one of those 4. In my personal opinion, I enjoy the Bucks. I root for the Bucks.
Yep.
But I guess
I'm kind of rooting for Toronto.
I really like Kawhi Leonard. If they won there, I think he could possibly stay. I really don't think he wants to, but if they go far,
it's hard to leave.
If somebody in his camp was convincing him something to leave San Antonio, they could convince him to stay in Toronto and be like, hey, we're out east. You're going to always be in the playoffs. Look, we didn't have no drama all year. All they did was talk us up. And
love us here.
Yeah, and we the North. It's it's not drama filled. It's kind of a Kawhi. And that's why I thought the Spurs was perfect for him, and it didn't work out. I don't know.
Oh, don't get me started
But
on that.
maybe it's just the whole he wants to go to LA. I don't know. But I think that's a good spot. I mean, but hey, I really don't know. I just think out west everything's wide open right now. We got the 1 through 3 is settled. Not even 3 through 8's 4.5, or it's 3 games separate 3 through 8. So
Anyone could be anywhere.
Yeah, I think the Rockets are going to hold pat in 3 or 4, and then anything below that is kind of. I think Portland will stick in 5 or 4, and then everything below that's wide open. So it's pretty much bottoms jockeying for as much as you want to win. Maybe
who wants to play Golden State?
Yeah. You don't want to be 8.
No.
And you don't
want to be 7 either.
You kind of want to be 2 because you're like, oh, I can handle the Nuggets. You know, like I'm just not scared of the Nuggets.
I'm
maybe.
not scared of the Nuggets either.
Yeah,
And
I'd be more scared of the Rockets just because Chris Paul turns it up in the playoffs.
James Harden.
Yeah, he wants to score.
Clint Capella.
Yeah, I think they're ready for a run. They're preparing for this. So I think I'm never scared of Portland.
Never.
Like it's a tough out, but you're never scared. You're not overwhelming with athleticism, and like Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum's their best player, and they're not bigger and faster than anyone. And then the Thunder, I mean, nobody wants to run into the Thunder,
No.
but
I'm scared as a Spurs fan and as a Weekly Take fan, the only teams I'm worried about are Golden State, obviously, Houston, and somewhat of Utah, because they flip it on. They beat OKC last year.
Yeah.
And
I think
even OKC, I'm kind of, but
yeah, Mitchell, he shines bright.
yeah, in those green jerseys, tell me that doesn't
Hype 'em.
trickle.
They got home court.
Sonics in you.
They have a good home court advantage
They
too.
do. They're fans. They're crazy fans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's racist. Borderline.
Yeah, it's bad over there.
But I don't know. It's a good home court advantage. I know that.
So run me through who.
I just think
who are the final 4, because there's 8. So who is it going to be in the second round?
I'm pretty sure
today. Tell me who would win each matchup.
Okay, I think the Clippers are done. I mean,
I
think the Clippers are just. They're not going to win a series. I don't think. I'm personally. The Spurs is more of a matchup situation.
Yeah.
I think the Jazz could win a series. And then honestly, I'd like to see Portland and the Thunder play a 4-5 game. That'd be a good matchup. And then, for some reason, I got this thing. The Nuggets are just not going to do it in the first round.
They're going to go out, bro.
Yeah.
First round, I think they're out.
And then I think the East is just pretty like. I think it's going to be Celtics, Sixers, Raptors, Bucks.
Yeah. The other 4 teams, it's like, hey, you're there.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
But you're not going to compete
playoffs
against
time now.
Harris, Embiid, Simmons, and
Exactly.
Butler. And then there's Boston has let me down all year. They have an amazing team. I can name 8 players on the roster.
Yeah.
And they're not really. I think Kyrie's leaving next year, man.
Yeah, I think it's best for both parties.
Yeah, get out of there.
That's the thing. If you're gonna keep everyone else intact, it's better for both parties for him to just, I just think it gives Tatum room to grow, gives Brown room to grow. You let Terry grow. You know what I mean?
Smart.
There's just, the ball just moves better. Just, I don't know. I just think that's a better situation.
I think you should leave.
Yeah.
But
I don't know about the whole KD, Kyrie in New York thing.
Where's he going then?
I think that's like people are trying to speak that into existence.
I was kind of speaking it into existence.
Yeah.
But I want him to go to LA.
Yeah. But either way, I think him leaving Boston's the best scenario for both. And then everything else is tank for Zion.
Everyone else is tanking for Zion.
Yeah.
If so, it's the Knicks right now who are leading the race.
Yeah.
And what if Cleveland gets like Barrett though?
I think
That'd be a good pickup for them, right?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
He's a shooter. I know you got in a heated argument with Darian the other night about RJ Barrett.
Yeah, we got. I was.
You just saw UNC'd out that night.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. He's trying to hype the Duke bandwagon for Barrett, but I was like, man, I don't know. Maybe I just thought he didn't deserve it. I guess I didn't have an argument where somebody else was that much better than him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just without Zion, I'd say give it to Zion if you're gonna give it to a Duke player, because without him, they were 3-3 in conference play, and I thought that was subpar.
Yeah.
For a Duke team.
But me and Breland are as excited as anyone for the NBA playoffs this year.
Yep.
The NBA,
Go Rockets.
anything. March Madness is going on. We've seen some upsets.
Go Zags.
And go Zags. We want to talk more March Madness to you guys a little later. Right now, there's 64 teams, 32 about to be.
Yeah.
But this actually does it for this week of episode 24. Breland, before we end it, where can people find you at?
Oh, I'm going to be working 116 job site. Come check a brother out. 35 an hour. Darian's going to be, he's been working up by Chevron. Check him out.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for episode 24. Shout out to my guy, Pat, recording us here. Yeah, everyone have a fantastic day.